Headlights off. Ken Cosgrove in the number 9, front row on the inside, along with Fred Carlton's 96. Will lead him down into turn 1. Here we go. Can Scott Wood in the 38 make it 2 features back-to-back? He's in position 12. Here we go. Carlton's 96 will lead him across the wire, but Cosgrove is right there. So is Travis Cunningham in the 91. Bill Bleach in the 108 is right there.
37's turning already.
37 is, with Boyd McTavish at the buttons. His car got stoned. Oh boy. It is tight churning down there against the guardrail in 1 and 2. Carlton, Cosgrove, Cunningham, Bleach, Stevens, your top 5. Brian has shown a lot of determination. Carlton drops it off into the Quasimodo. Ken Cosgrove, feature participant in John Steckley's St. Catharines Standard column tonight. In the White Oaks number 9, Carlton using that high side, way up high in 4. Darren Miller is 22, deciding to visit the pits. Cosgrove, Carlton, Cunningham, Bleach, Stevens, Travis Braun, Pete Bicknell, Scott Wood, Larry Lampman, and Tim Jones. That's your top 10. We're 5 laps deep. 30 more to go. Travis hugging that low line down to the guardrail in 1 and 2. Fred Carlton fighting back there, side by side in turn 3. Good battle there for 2nd and 3rd and behind Cosgrove. Bleach slinging it wide on the outside as well in turn 4. Working there with Stevens, and we've got George Bossy in the 31 going all the way around in turn 4. That'll bring out the yellow flag and the yellow lights. Slowing it down, yellow, yellow. Enduro cars in massing over on the approach road in turn 3. Green, green, go, go, relight it, refire, whatever you want to use. Boy, oh boy, it's tight confines over there, is it not? Chad Brackman, Todd Gordon, and Lemaire, 3 wide going through 3 and 4. That was pretty hairy. Chad Brackman, our points leader, without the benefit of a feature win. On the march on the high side in 2, down the back straightaway. Keep your eyes on the number 3.
22 going to the pits.
22 into the pits again. Dan Miller continues to have some problems with the player's entry. Cosgrove, on the other hand, just the opposite. Nice and cool and collected in turns 3 and 4. Look at Freddie letting it all hang out, wringing the car's neck on the outside.
He's fun to watch.
He sure is fun to watch.
And new sponsorship from Turn 4 Collision.
Turn 4 Collision coming to the party. Pete Bicknell in that brand new number 42 BRP creation. Lucas Oil on the back panels, of course. Good friend Steve Snowden in the suite down the line here, as Clinton was talking to him. Cosgrove hangs on to it. Travis Cunningham, good job. Travis has been nice and solid there in 2nd place. Hanging it down in that lower groove, or Fast Freddy lets it all hang out again on the high side. Pete Bicknell right there, working that low line as well, along with Cunningham and Cosgrove. That appears to be the fast way around. Brian Stevens is taking that same broadcast as well in the 44. Cosgrove, Cunningham, Carlton, Pete Bicknell, Brian Stevens, your top 5. 6 through 10, Bleach, Braun, Jones, Lampman, and Scott Wood, our first feature winner of the evening on Avondale Food and Convenience Stores night. Ken Cosgrove, looking for his first feature of 2008. This could be a breakthrough for the very likable driver, the number 9.
Right on the bottom.
Right down on the bottom, as far down low as you can go, friend. You can't get any lower, otherwise you'll be kissing metal. Carlton, though, staying on that high side. Brian Stevens decides to experiment up there, along with Bleach in the 108 and Brackman in the number 3. We're 14 laps deep, kids. Bossy again slowing down. They want to get him moving here. Now he finally catches it.
Right in front of the leader.
Put a fresh rat in the wheel and away he goes. So trying to make sure we just stay green. That's the main thing here. Cosgrove now. Travis Cunningham still challenging, although somewhat distant now in second place. Bicknell in that third place location. Bicknell second in the points order. Coming into tonight. But Ken Cosgrove getting up close to the halfway portion of this thing. As cool as the other side of your pillow. Wow, Cunningham and Bicknell there do a little dance coming out of turn 2. But here's Cosgrove, man. As long as it stays green, this guy is stout. 18 laps, crossed those flags. We're halfway through the battle. What has been an awfully long night. Here we go, cross those flags, halfway through. 19 goes up on the clicker. There it is. Cosgrove still your leader. Travis Cunningham second, Pete Bicknell third, Fred Carlton fourth, Brian Stevens fifth. Good run for Brian. Oh, and there's Bossy again. Carlton clips him as he goes by. That's going to be another yellow. And Brian Stevens as well, although he did try the top side for a little while along with Fred Carlton. So there's the green. Let's see if Cosgrove can hang on to this thing. Looking good so far. Bicknell now charging on the outside with Cunningham down low in the 91. Pete's going to say, when is there anything out here for me to try? Rubber on rubber works better than anything else out there. So Cosgrove staying down on that low line. Bicknell deciding to experiment with a higher broadcast. Cunningham staying low along with Kenny to see if that'll work. Fred Carlton still way out there. So is Brackman. And Lampman in that 23. So pick your poison, boys. Pick high, pick low, and see how it works. It's working well for Bicknell. He takes over second spot from Travis. Ken Cosgrove is the guy they're going to try and catch here. Working on lap 23 now. And a problem up here in 4. Fred Carlton overcooked it, but is able to continue on his own. Fred was out there where angels fear to tread, and it sort of bit him a little bit.
Nothing fears Freddy.
No. Oh, Brackman gets into the side of Lampman. Keep your eyes on those two boys. That was a rather sizable thump. Cosgrove staying to that low line, and it's working for him. Why experiment? Bicknell took over second, dispatched Travis Cunningham back to third. Brian Stevens now working there with Lampman in that 23 machine. That is the fight for, let's see, 5th and 6th place. Bicknell now challenging Cosgrove. He really has closed up that lead. Bicknell trying to outbreak him on that high side as the track continues to take rubber. Cosgrove now shifts up slightly to the middle, but is going to stay down low. Bicknell right now up high, and that seems to be the somewhat faster line.
And Kenny's locked in Pete's normal preferred line right
Exactly, he is, and Bicknell's going to try that high side and continue with that experiment in that brand new race car. Cosgrove, though, undaunted, says it's worked well for me to this point. Why change it? Bicknell on the top. Tried down low for a second there, switched back to the high side again. Cosgrove hanging on to it. He knows Pete's there. He can hear him breathing. It's excellent stuff for this late in the night on a track this slick. It's good stuff. 28 laps on the counter, soon to be 29. 6 more to go. Bicknell on the high side. Cosgrove is not going to relinquish or change his line down low. Bicknell, though, could get a good run here off of turn 2. Into 3, side by side with Cosgrove pretty much. Here they come off of 4. Bicknell gets a run, beats him to the wire by maybe 1.5 feet. Cosgrove with Kendrick up ahead, dead ahead with Bicknell. 0.08 of a second apart. Bicknell trying desperately to shake Cosgrove loose for a clean lead. He's got Kendrick up on the high side in that 55. Bicknell crosses up and gets him across the wire to take over the lead on lap 31 with 4 to go. But Cosgrove is still right there. Pete Bicknell with one feature win, second in the points, took over the points lead at the Ransomville Speedway last night. He also leads in 358 Lucas Oil Series points. Wow! That was a gulper for sure there. Yowee wowee, holy cow. Bicknell out front. So Pete Bicknell had for him a substandard season is suddenly appearing at the top of the points order in more than one or two disciplines. Behind Brackman by 14 points for the weekly lead here. Takes over the points lead by one over Todd Burley at Ransomville, and a 23-point lead in the Lucas Oil Machine. Lampman now challenging Travis. White flag. And you got Brackman there dueling with Brian Stevens. Coming around in turn 4 with a brand new car, the 42. Pete Bicknell with feature win number 2 on the year. Comes down to take checkers. Kenny Cosgrove, a good valiant try, but he'll have to finish second. Travis Cunningham third. Larry Lampman fourth. Chad Brackman in position number 5. The points leader, Brian Stevens sixth. Scott Woods seventh. Chris Steele in the 80 finishing 8th. 9, Travis Braun. 10, Bill Bleach. Plus Big Trucker Show and Shine and the West Lane High School robotics display.
I did the only major one we had to do. Yeah, just sit there and fish.
So as we mentioned, Clinton, not only is he challenging for the lead here, he's taken the lead in Ransomville points, and he of course is 358 modified points leader in the Lucas Oil shootout.
Don't take any more pictures of me eating. That's all right. How about it, folks? Big round of applause for Mr. Small Block, Pete Bicknell. Well, Pete, we got to keep this one pretty sweet and short. But talk about your run. I've never seen you run the high side like that. That's a new Mr. Small Block and a new Bicknell line, as we called it for years here at Merrittville.
Well, Kenny wasn't getting off the bottom, and he was awful fast down there, so I had to get to the top, and there was a lot of bite. It was just a long way away, but really once I got up there, it was really good traction up there, so I just had to get that run on him and get by him, then just pull back down and try to block him, I guess, for the rest or whatever I had to do, but he was so good off the bottom, it was tough.
Quickly allude to what happened here with this new car. We're told you showed up at the shop, crew said you got a new car, and how'd that all work out for you?
Well, it ended up good now. You know, the first feature we were a little dicey. We made a lot of changes to this car. It's really different, and I think we threw too much at it for the first feature, so we took it back to some of the stuff that we know about and took a lot of the other parts back and made a lot of changes for this feature and definitely went the right way.
Certainly did. Congratulations, Pete. Good win for Mr. Small Block, Pete Bicknell. And the Enduro cars get lined up over here on turn number 4.
So Chad Brackman, by virtue of some quick arithmetic, is still 8 points ahead of Pete for the 358 modified points lead here at the Speedway. In Giro cars, there's 53 of them. Fran has the non-numerical order in front of him here. So this ought to be Cripps. 6 points. Correction on that. It's a 6-point lead. Thank you, Art. Thank you, John. So a 6-point lead by Chad Brackman over Bicknell. So it's tight. It was 14 coming into the night. It's now a 6-point gap. So it's as tight as ever.
20-lap Enduro, and here's the way they're going to line up